Alrighty guys, welcome back. This is LG Shaft. We are doing the Ritmix RSL tournament. So far we've seen AcerNerchio own his PvZ skills. He showed us what it's like to defeat White Raw 2-0. He's a beast. Will he be able to do the same to mouzCCMaNa? I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough game for both players. Nerchio is just one of the most solid Zergs out there. He's a European player, one of their finest. mouzCCMaNa, another European player. He's had some up and downs recently, but lately he's shown solid play. So they say what happens when two immovable objects collide? Well, we're going to find out. Without further ado, guys, I present to you the red glittering Protoss. It's Mana. And his opponent, AcerNerchio. Alright, so Shakura's Plateau. This is a map that really comes down to the positioning on... Shaft making several errors there. Okay, it comes down to this ramp right here. You can block this ramp with just, 2, 3 buildings. No problem. And Mana, of course, going ahead right into that pylon for his forge. No problem. So any kind of aggression that Nerchio tries to do going to be blocked either this way, this way, this way, whatever. There's going to be a cannon here. It's really easy to hold this. Now it's cross position, so Nerchio may be more inclined to a macro game, but we've seen Nerchio do some rather crazy stuff. So let's see what he has planned here. Who knows, man? There's no reading this guy's mind. Mana, of course, he's going to be going for that, Nexus first or Forge first build. Fast expand. He wants to get his probe in here and block this expansion. Get a little scout in. Is my opponent doing a 7 pool, 8 pool, 9 pool? Is he trying to cheese me? No! He's got plenty of drones. Oh, there's a pool. Plenty of time left on it. Cool deal. Let's go back home. Yeah, see? Mana having lots of thoughts there. Very smart dude. Oh, and there we go. Rally point set. But now he's going to target down this drone. Dropping the pylon. That's going to keep the drone from ever making that hatchery. And Mana just going to go ahead and get into position. Looks like he's going to go straight on to the third. Nope. Still wants to cause that drone a little bit of hell. Now he's got his shields back up. He can cancel that pylon. Get that 75 minerals back up. Get his Nexus a little bit sooner. Another drone shows up. Probably going to lay down a pylon and go block the third. Nope. The hatchery doesn't get down. Ling's finally showing up. The probe. He might get away. No, he runs right into... the hatchery goes down. And one Ling gonna chase this probe down. Will it die? Boom! Explosion. That looks like a miniature nuke going off. 2 gas being taken simultaneously. I love that way. Alright. Mana is about 3/4 of the way done on this Nexus. He's got a gateway on the way. We've got 3 bases here for Nerchio. Nerchio playing really standard, all things considered. We've seen, really not so standard stuff from him, but no, this time he just wants to show he can play straight up. This probe gonna check the third, sees that there's a third there. Ling's gonna clean it up, but hey, at least Protoss knows what's going on, and then he can play accordingly. These little scouts that he's losing, each probe, it adds up. It's a lot of lost mining time. It's a lot of resources just thrown away. It's a lot of production time just thrown away. But knowing what your opponent's doing and being cost efficient against whatever it is worth it. And that's why Mana's really known for being such a scouting-oriented player. Okay, so it's about 5 minutes, 40 seconds into the game. We should be seeing Nerchio taking his first 2 gas in the near future. He's actually got a ridiculous number of drones. I don't think this kid's missed an inject yet. Wow. Okay, so drones are going up everywhere. That's the thing about PvZ. There's always a little bit of a lull at the beginning of the games, simply by lieu of the fact that both players want a fairly good economy in the mid-game so that things can get all kinds of super crazy. Okay, we're going to have this Overlord. Looks like it's going to run right on into the main. He wants a read on how many gateways and what kind of tech is available for his opponent. He does see the 3rd and 4th gas. And several lanes are also going to be pressuring Mana. So this Stalker can't just go target that Overlord. More units will have to be made if this Overlord's going to die. Uh-oh. That Overlord actually not going in just yet. He sees a little bit. He can see all the gas, making sure that this isn't some kind of fake gas or something like that. Okay. Creep Tumor nearly falling, but managing to stay alive with 8 HP, 10 HP now, 11 HP. Boom. Only 8 minutes into the game, and we actually have Nerchio connecting his bases with Creep. This is really important with this gasless 3-base style, as your units can get a much better surround and a lot more DPS overall with faster reinforcements. Which is all made possible by your friends at Creep Corps. Hi! Okay, guys. Roaches, Roachborn has finished. We've got Ling Speed on the way. Interesting, we don't see, yet again, we don't see a ranged upgrade for Nerchio, and that seems to be really something a lot of Zergs are doing when they do this gasless 3-base. Now he's got his 3rd and 4th gas. Observers out, so we'll have Mana actually is going to be able to see what's going on. Moving out with 7 sentries, 1 stalker, 1 zealot, 5 gateways. There's an immortal coming out. Actually, he's moving out a little bit too soon. This is only 9.5 minutes into the game, and he's showing his hand just a little bit. Taking a 3rd. Okay, I love it. Mana trying to go for something a little more economic. Okay, he realizes he can't kill Nerchio. Nerchio is a badass beast. Nerchio doesn't make mistakes. So, if he's going to win, he's going to have to be cunning. And, okay, cunning Mana can do. Here's the Immortals, 4 more Zealots showing up. So, he has a timing attack building up here. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, he's going to expand with it. He's going to warp in a couple more sentries. He's going to be super, super safe. But it's a lot of Lings. There's only 1 Zealot there, but Zealot's going to kill a couple of Lings. Lings going to go here into the 3rd, but there's an army there to repel. There's not much here at the natural, though. Just 1 Zealot and 1 cannon. Yet more units can be warped in. Nerchio doesn't have that many Lings, nor does he want that many Lings. Actually, I lied. He wants lots and lots of Lings. Alright. 3 Immortals here. He's actually getting a Twilight Council as well, so he's definitely going to be interested in the +2 upgrade. Don't know, we might even see some Blink Stalkers. Infestor, Pathogen Glands on the way. 1/1 upgrades for Melee and Carapace. 28 Lings on the way. This guy loves his Lings in ZVP, which is not that common these days, so okay. I can get down with that, but It actually works really well, though, because of the Immortals, if you think about it. Immortals, hardened shields. Also, they don't do so well against light armor. But hold that thought, in the natural of Mana, parked right on his ramp. That Forge is getting targeted down. Bye-bye +2. Not very good force fields here at 4. Mana, just a couple wings getting held off. Wow, Nerchio getting the majority of his forces out safely after eliminating that Forge, buying himself a lot of time in what promises to be a very long game. You know, I could cheat and hit this little button right here, but I'm not that kind of person. Macro hatch is getting laid down, as well as a 4th base for Nerchio. Nerchio going ahead and building those gas as well, so he is completely happy going straight on into Broodlords. And I like it against the 3-base style. Oh, he's going to surround the Protoss army and then just go right on home. Oh, lots of Spine Crawlers here as well. Dude, Nerchio is completely safe. He got these Spine Crawlers at exactly the right moment in exactly the right positions. As soon as he said in his head, I want Broodlords, he got that 4th, got those gas up, got a macro hatch, and then just threw these Spine Crawlers down. It's beautiful. Everybody saying hi to me online. Hi, Theata. Hi, Mighty. Hi and Mighty. Ha. I made a joke. Okay. And lots of gateways. 9 gateways. Twilight Council. Oh. Okay, lots of Spine Crawlers. Funny growth going off everywhere. Roaches coming around. Lings holding the Protoss in position. Oh, so much DPS there on Mana. Mana is having such a hard time reinforcing in this position. There's a Warp Prism, safe place for the Warp Prism to warp stuff in. He's coming up to the high ground. Hopefully he can get a couple of Zealots into the main. Nerchio maybe not going to have the reaction time to deal with it, as Nerchio is attacking right on into the 3rd of Mana. But will units... Oh, this Queen trying to hold off the Zealots by herself. Reinforcements popping out. Drones being pulled off the line to deal with this. Hive is going to finish. Spire finishes at the same time. Oh, Roachling forces getting held at bay by the force fields of the sentries. Cannon there doing a little bit of DPS. These roaches still can't get in. Oh, Nerchio going ahead, target firing the sentries as he can get past the force fields now. And most of the Zealots have been dealt with. mouzCCMaNa, realizing he's in a losing situation, drops the GG. Poor guy. Nerchio taking another victory in the Ritmix RSL tournament. Guys, I hate to tell you, but Nerchio is sick. Alright, give me just a second, get the next game loaded up. Thank you for your patience. Hopefully you're enjoying this cast. I'm LG Shaft, your host, and this is the Ritmix RSL. Okay, guys, this next map looks very promising. It's going to be Entombed Valley, where we have our Blue Zerg. He is the hero. He's won every game he's played in this series so far. Like I said, he's the Blue Zerg on this Entombed Valley map. His name's AcerNerchio, and he has the really cool looking base with all the purple stuff laying on the ground. And on the top top left-hand side of the map, it is the glowing red Protoss playing for Team mouzCC. It's Mana. Now, Mana shines in a macro game. The longer the game lasts, the better Mana is. This is Entombed Valley. Huge ramp right here. But if you can guard that, and then you can guard this, they're fairly well connected right here. You can hold all three bases very, very easily as a Protoss player. Sentries do amazing. Just park your sentries right here. Force field this. Force field this. Get a couple of Colossi. Choke points are everywhere. Choke points here. Choke points there. All of this in here. I mean, just look at the tight, narrow corridors. Except for this area right in here. This one Zelnaga tower. Basically this whole area in here. Not so good for the Protoss, but if you stick to these fringes, all in here, you're going to rape the Zerg army. They can't get the surround they really need unless they park units here, here, here. You know, you're going to have to hit from multiple angles at the perfect timing. So Zerg has to work for a victory here. Where Protoss is going to feel very, very comfortable. And Mana's a macro player. So he's going to benefit more than any other style Protoss player. All of this is good stuff to keep in mind as this game is going forth. Guess what? There's another spawning pool. I tricked you guys again! Ha ha ha! Hopefully, at least. Anyways, sixlings on the way. There is no cannon up at the natural for Mana. This pylon gonna finish. Cannon gets started. Gateway started as well. Mineral walking these probes. Trying to get surrounded here on the drone and Ling forces. Mana losing a lot of time and simple micro. But Nerchio is being repelled for the most part. This shield regeneration for Mana is keeping most of his probes alive, but one just fell right there. All in all, he has killed 3 workers, but 1 worker has been killed by Mana. So definitely going to be paying off for Mana long term here. Nerchio lost a lot of production early on in going for such an early full build, and right now is 5 workers behind. Now he did lose that pylon, he did lose his forge, but you know what? That's okay. We do have an expansion coming for Nerchio as well. Pylon's going to come down over here for Mana. Has this Overlord scouted it? No. Okay, so Mana planning to do some early aggression, more than indicative by the fact that there's a cyber core, gas, there's going to be warp gate research on the way. But these Lings here are going to target down the assimilator, which is out of range of the cannon, so it's going to be probes that, for the most part, that are trying to defend. And that means the assimilator is going to fall, but it's going to hurt this timing attack of Mana. And Nerchio should be completely safe holding this off. Nerchio trying not to let this get into a macro game. This has to be a theme for him in this map, because, like I said, the more this transitions to that third base with Colossi, the more and more Protoss favorite this is going to be. That assimilator going to have to be remade. Maybe he's learned, maybe he'll put down another pylon and cannon that will help extend the range, but at the moment Nerchio content to just fall right on back home. He's still a couple of harvesters behind, 4 harvesters behind actually to be specific, but he's got 2 spine callers on the way. He's more than safe as far as units go. Just now getting his first queen, second queen, 6.5 minutes into the game, but you know, with the incredible production we've seen. Oh, 2 gateways being hidden in the bottom right-hand corner. That is not a proxy pylon. But Nerchio, he's seen it. And he's going to target down this gateway, which is making a stalker. He's got to be careful not to lose that zealot just trying to make these Lings reposition themselves, and that Zealot gets surrounded. Another Zealot pops out. He's going to get surrounded too as that first Zealot dies. Uh-oh, looks like that Zealot may... No. Stalker pops out as well. Probe showing up too. That Probe's going to try to get away. Oh, the Ling's being pulled off. That Probe's going to be able to come back and build some extra stuff here for this position, the buildings. Probably another gateway, a couple more pylons to make this super safe. Mana has a Stalker here. He might not continue to stack. Yeah, he's actually going to take and expand. He's forced some units. He's forced a reaction here. Uh-oh, gateway turning into a warp prism. Alright, so we've got several spine crawlers been made here. A third spine crawler going to be made. So the Stalker going to kill off that sport. I cannot talk today. That Stalker going to kill off that creep tumor and then run away. We've got that fake Zealot Stalker pressure that we talked about earlier. But these Lings causing hell for Mana. Mana now going to be forced up the ramp. Let's kill off that Overlord. Now he won't be able to defend his natural with that Stalker. But his forces of Mana going to chase most of the Lings on home. Still 4 Spine Crawlers here for Nerchio. See, these two gateways here are kind of blowing my mind because they haven't really done that much. But now the attack is coming for Mana. He has his expansion as well. He's getting yet another gateway. I'm curious if he's going to go into some higher attack or if he's just going to roll the dice and see if he can do it with just the small gateway arms. Coke Zero is so damn tasty. Alright, so 10 Zealots, 3 Stalk Sentries, and 2 Stalkers. Alright, cool deal. No Ling speed here for Nerchio. That's going to make getting surrounded really impossible, but for Spine Crawlers do really well against this number of Zealots. That's going to force Mana to run on home. There's a lot of bruised sentries right there. He may be able to get some kills, but he's going to have to get through the wall of Zealots first. There may be enough Lings to do just that, but he doesn't want to test it, so he's going to go right on home to the safety of his queens. I like that decision. He goes ahead, targets down this proxy pylon, and Mana taking the time to rebuild his forge, and is going to go ahead and fortify this natural. This is some superb play from both players. Neither one able to get a clutched advantage, but that may all change with this Spire. He's been making a lot of Lings, so his opponent may actually be tipped off that the Spire is coming, but we've seen Nerchio use Lings in this matchup quite excessively every time we've seen him play, and we've yet to see Mutilisks yet. So this may not be enough to tip Mana off just by means of the fact that he is playing Nerchio. So I don't know. This third base about halfway done. That's going to allow him some insanity gas. He could theoretically do pure Mutalisk. Excuse me, hiccups, guys. He could theoretically do pure Mutalisks behind the safety of the Spine Crawlers with the Lings there to help hold the position. With the way this map sets up, like we were talking about in the Protoss base, just holding this position and this position here, well, Spine Crawlers are really good. So in theory, so are Mutalisks. The ledges and whatnot allow Mutalisks to do a lot of harassment. Only problem would become something like Blink Stalkers. But Lings are going to get right on into the main. Mutalisks are going to come in here as well, targeting down that cannon, which will also kill several probes. The Mutalisks being traded for the probes. Stalkers are there to deal with it, though. There's not a lot of ground behind these bases. The empty air here will be abused. Alright, going right back into the probe line. Stalker's going to respond in a very effective fashion, but still incredible numbers of workers killed. 15 workers killed right now, though Mutalisks are being traded left, right, and center as a direct result. Yeah, he's still actually making Mutalisks, but I don't think he plans to stick with them for very long. He's trading them a little bit too freely, to be honest. He has got the upgrades, though, so Brood Lords are seeming like a very reasonable option. There we go, we've got the 1-1 upgrades for Lings now. And +2 Protoss attack upgrades are on the way. This finally being dealt with as well. Incredible creep spread here for Nerchio. This is 15 minutes into the game. He's taken nearly a quarter of the map in creep. And promising to do much, much more unless Mana does something about it. This huge Ling Muta army forcing the blink from the Stalkers. Muta's can come right back to the safety of the Lings. I am just awed. Mana cannot take a third. Literally. Nerchio has parked his units here and is going to make Mana trade down already 50 supply. So Nerchio, any trade will benefit Nerchio. He's up on bases. He's getting his 4th and 5th base now. He's up 50 supply, so any trade will benefit him. So by parking at the 3rd, even if he loses more stuff, it will benefit him, so he's forcing the trade. I love it. And here he is. There's force fields, but who cares about force fields when you have Mutalisks? And there are the Mutalisks targeting down at least 1 sentry. The Lings get in, so the Lings, he's got to be careful not to lose everything, though. So he's trying to get at least a reasonably good engagement, which is fair. I can deal with that. This observer definitely worth its weight in gold right now, as he sees ahead of time where his Mutalisks are going to be going, but he's not quite in position as he should have been, but seeing those Mutalisks run by that observer. But cannons are in position, so every second the Mutalisks are in the base, he's losing Mutalisks. Fifth base, completely mining gas. This 4th base will be soon as well. And this game definitely comes down to gas for Nerchio. He's got more than enough minerals just floating around. But as he goes into... Well, has he got a hive yet? No. No hive. He's still on layer. He has committed quite a bit to the Mutalisks, but he's making spine collars. Definitely very Nerchio-like, but it's not going to work. Mana is going to clean up the spine collars. Creative. High Templar are really going to force Nerchio to do something besides Ling Muta. We see him going Banelings. This may or may not work, but if this doesn't work, he has to go higher tech. I'm not sure. Okay, the drones are coming out to build some defensive spine crawlers instead of offensive spine crawlers. That's usually a good sign. Now there's Forge. Was going to get targeted down by Mutalisks, but the High Templars did not like that idea. Storming his own units, though, that's not very good. Baneling's gonna run right into this really tight choke point. When it explodes, it's not gonna kill that High Templar after all. Does weaken, lose a couple of Stalkers. Nerchio managing to kill off that 3rd base with just... He bought time with those Banelings. I like that move. And he's continuing to make Lings, continuing to make Mutalisks. This is not something any player could pull off. Nerchio is actually tactically using his units. His units are weaker, but more mobile. So he has to essentially constantly be on top of his game right now, or else he's going to lose every single one of his mutalisks. Had he, taken even his eyes off even a second, oh my god, he just did, and all his mutalisks are exploding. That is what you've got to be careful of. But Nerchio has 195 supply yet again, just continuing to rally out Lings. He's getting that infestation pit, so he's got to be getting Hive. And then once he gets Hive, he'll be in a much better position. These mutalisks have about used up their benefits. He's against Pure Stalker, which have 3 attack upgrades. Once I Templar out with that, yeah, mutalisks, they're going to die. How effective you can be with them is up to you, but eventually they won't be effective anymore. And there's the Hive, there's Baneling Speed, there's +2 Carapace, making just a couple more mutalisks. I like it. He's stockpiling his gas for the most part, using Spine Crawlers, Lings. Oh, and the Spine Crawlers being offensive again. Overlord's laying down creep, but the Stalkers are going to push out at exactly the wrong time yet again. That darn Observer. It must be somewhere nearby. And the Spine Crawler is going to be dealt with yet again. That is so many resources used on such a gimmicky trick. But oh, if only it did work. Life would be awesome then. Okay, so Warp Prism taking the long way round to Nerchio's bases. He's going to be happy to find this base right here. He should be able to pressure that no problemo. Uh-oh, Warp Prism going to lay it down just a little bit early. That may mean he doesn't actually scout this base. Who knows? We'll find out. And Nerchio rolling into the third yet again with this Baneling Muta army. Uh-oh, not actually going to go up that ramp. Probably a good decision. High Templar. Pretty good at controlling ramps. Pretty good unit. Maybe. Some days. Okay, so we are not actually going to be seeing Broodlords immediately. We've got Carapace level 3 to accompany Ultralisks. And that's an interesting decision. This is a lot of Stalkers, and that's actually, I think that may be brilliant, because Stalkers do a little bit better against Ultras because they're armored. But even with that being said, the Cleave should clear up the Death Ball concept and make the Ling Mutas that much more powerful when they finally do show up. So by using the Ultralisks to just kind of deal with everything else, hey, it's reasonable. We'll find out if it actually works, though. As this game progresses, I love the creep spread here for Nerchio. He has been spreading this creep so consistently. Now actually getting a 6th base. Such a greedy guy. 3 base against 6 base. Zerg is definitely ahead, but only ahead by 10. Now 20 supply. Both players getting close to that 200 supply limit, so both probably going to be looking to trade in the reasonably near future. Uh-oh, Mothership about to pop out. There she blows. And yeah, this could eventually become an issue. Mana is actually already ready with the Stargate, so as soon as he sees a sign of Broodlords, he's going to be pumping out Void Rays. Won't he be surprised to see that it's going to be Ultralisks? These DTs going ahead, killing off that 5th base. Really cool stuff here by Mana, who's using these little side gimmicks to get ahead in reasonably small ways and actually get his own bases up, which is a lot better than reasonably small. Uh-oh, Stalkers are going to be in exactly the right position to deal with Mutalisks. And targeting down the Mutalisks. Nerchio losing the main majority of his mid-game tech. He needs to be careful with this as, well, he's got 6 Ultralisks, a lot of Lings, a lot of Banelings. 6 more Ultralisks are on the way as well as 6 Infestors. So, actually, the Infestors are going to be able to hold... that's the thing, Mothership really forces the... This, is he, like, trying to do a Zerg toilet or something? Banelings and Ultras, when they pop out of the Archon toilet, are going to kind of work the same as... I don't know. I don't know. Nerchio, you are a mad scientist, my friend. Ling's gonna poke and prod at the 4th base to immediately killed. He sees the mothership, he sees everything, and he's ready. He's gonna run right on into the natural. Ultralisks targeting down. Uh-oh. Okay, so here we go. Most of the ground forces of Mana dying to that initial wave of Baneling Ultra, but now there is the toilet, and all those Ultras just jumped right on in there. I don't know how many other units are in there with them. Uh-oh. Okay, so it's mostly Zerg. The Protoss wisely keeping his own units out and spread out. So, okay, the AoE of Nerchio actually still doing a really good job against Mana, but not as effective as it could have been. Still, that was insanity. Mana knew that if he had engaged inside that vortex, Nerchio was going to come out ahead. Archon's going to be warped here at the 4th base, but it's going to be a little bit too little too late. A lot of Lings here, 3 Lings in fact. Going to make short work of these Archons despite Archons doing AoE damage. Oh my god, that Archon's going to live with 21 shields. That Archon is too. Oh, you never want to see that. Well, if you're Mana, you do. GT's here at Nerchio's 5th base. Uh-oh, changelings. Why are you sending changelings to your own base? I'm not sure. Nerchio, you're crazy. Let's look at the income tab here. 69 workers for Nerchio, 43 for Mana, but they have similar incomes. Interesting. Only this base, 2 base, 3 base. Okay, well, he's just now mainerding. Alright, that makes sense now. Nerchio pulling ahead quite a bit. 20 supply ahead, 6 investors coming out. Reasonably strong Spinecrawler wall here. And Mana. Already setting up another base for when his 3rd runs out. Another mothership on the way, 6 more Broodlords. Nerchio's been very good at trading his tech and trading, you know, each and every army. He's finally now getting that Broodlord Infestor composition. He's got insanity upgrades to, you know, go with it, and I still don't know if it's going to be enough. There's a lot of Archons, a lot of Immortals, a mothership's on the way. He's 30 supply ahead though. He's got 18 more workers. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one to call, guys. You're not going to know till that last and final battle, which, well, it's 34 minutes into the game. You never know when that last and final battle will be. That last and final battle. Banelings rolling, rolling, rolling. And they're going to roll right on into a group of Archons, but wisely backs right on off. 6 Broodlords here. That's 10 infestors, and how many corruptors? 7 corruptors. 3 overseers. Awesome sauce. Some more broodlords on the way. Cool. And Mana is just continuing to stick to this mostly Stalker force, supplemented with a lot of higher tech units like Archon and Mortal. He's had a lot of success with it so far, but this is going to be very vulnerable to prolonged fungal growth and broodlords. The thing about it, though, broodlords are going to be susceptible to that Archon toilet. So it will come down to execution. That final battle is all going to come down to execution. Broodlord Ultra. Now that's some crazy stuff. Mana, of course, still keeping his units spread out. Looking a little bit like a Terran player there. Wow. Nerchio sitting at 14 Broodlords. 14 Broodlords. I'm going to say it again. 14 Broodlords! And making more. 17 Broodlords now. Wow. Another spire is actually going to be made. Looks like he's going to... Yep, here we go. He's going to get that second spire both in case of a base race and in case... so he can get upgrades. Like the base race, obviously, the spire's in another location. He can go ahead and upgrade to a greater spire if he gets into that situation. But at the same time, he can also get upgrades on it. It's like having 2 evolution chambers. Double the upgrades. And Nerchio is going to finally get some benefit out of these spine crawlers. Dude has had no luck with spine crawlers so far. But that's going to allow him to hug this spine crawler wall right here, get all his units into exactly the right position, morph on as many banings as he wants. Fungal growth on the mothership with a couple of infested Terran underneath. Has to be careful not to lose his units into the Archon toilet. He goes ahead, throws his banelings and his ultras in there though. What's going to happen when that vortex explodes? Broodlords are careful not to get in there. It's mostly infestors, but there were no Protoss units inside. And Ultra is doing a great job tanking. Infested Terran are raping the Protoss army. The Broodlords are everywhere. This energy-based summonable army of Nerchio chasing Mana right on home. Mana lost 90 supply right there. High Templar being morphed in. Archon's probably going to be morphed in shortly after. This Broodlord army of death slowly creeping across the map. And now attacks the cannons. The Protoss blinks in. The storms are going down. Broodlord's losing a lot of HP, but the Protoss has lost most of his units. And the GG by Mana, who gets 2-0'd by Acer's very own Nerchio. Dude's a sick monster. What did I tell you? This has been LG Shaft casting the Ritmix RSL. Please, guys, go check out my blip. blip.tv/theonlyshaft. If you're watching this on my YouTube, and if you're watching this on my blip, go check out my YouTube. Just search for Misused Shaft. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, as always. Good night for now.